Good morning. This is Bill from Auto Europa Naples on a slightly milder Florida morning. It's no longer 45 degrees. It's probably in the high 50s somewhere. You know, I'm reading in the newspapers about, the Midwest being negative 60. And I have to say, I'm pretty chipper to be down in Naples, Florida. That's rare because, again, in the summer, 95 degrees, humidity like a swamp. And all I can think about is getting out. So it's nice to want to be home for a change. I have this 2016 Mercedes-Benz E400 Cabriolet. This is the final incarnation of the W212 platform, the most up-to-date, the most modern engine, the most modern styling of what is truly one of the best-looking E-Class cabrios of all time. And that's quite a statement. I see we have more construction noise. Now we have forklifts and concrete blocks, so that's fantastic. What are you going to do? Anyway, the E-Class, it's always been, a very posh, elegant, lovely, mature way to get around and to enjoy the sun with a four-seat convertible. Every single one of them has become a collector's item as time goes on. And this one really is in a class of its own. I mean, it's got some competitors, but none of them are exactly correct and parallel to this one. I mean, you've got the Audi A5, you've got the BMW 4 Series. Those are nice cars, but they're a little bit cheaper. For a lot more money, you've got the BMW 6 Series, which is also an exceptional car, but of course it's a fair amount of additional fundage. So the E-Class really does hold kind of a level of its own in between them all, and it has for a long time, and really it's just sort of a timeless, elegant, lovely car that ages gracefully. They're all movie stars. If you go back and run through IMDb for, Mercedes-Benz E-Class convertibles, you're going to find them in a bunch of movies. With good reason. They just have a timeless elegance about them. They're lovely to look at. They're lovely to drive, and they really just do everything quite well. Now, this car was facelifted in 2014. It got a very fresh front end treatment with these, well, not all of them had it. This one does. The driver adaptive LED front headlights. They're like jewels. They're like something you'd see in a Tiffany box. Absolutely gorgeous. When they're lit up, I'll try to get a shot of that. So the whole front end changed. It became a one-piece headlight. Got very swoopy and Batman-y with the little prongs on the front air dam. This one does have the AMG Sport package. You could see the chrome on the bottom of the air dam, which was new and really complements the car nice. The chrome also around the grille, the big stylized star in the grille. Just a very, very pretty front end treatment. This one does have, of course, the Sport, so it's got the 18-inch AMG twin-spoke alloys. You can see big, very nice dinner plate-sized brakes there in the back with vented rotors. The Mars Red is a lovely color for this car. Lovely chrome accents around the windows and openings on top of the door handles. This retained that sort of muscular rear end with the bulging fender flares. Some of the other E-Classes dumped that in this year, the sedans and whatnot, the wagon. The coupe and convertible kept it, which looks nice. Beautiful rope LED taillights, gorgeous the way they light up. Lovely chrome accents everywhere. There's your E400 badge. Big twice pipes at the bottom with the diffuser, part of that Sport package. This car just looks expensive, feels expensive, and drives in a way that feels expensive. So it's really absolutely quite lovely. Let me wait for the forklift to go away again. Oh my God, do I yearn for peace and quiet. Now, one thing I find kind of interesting about this car is when the top is down, you get to see these rearward-facing speakers. They're kind of interesting because obviously when the top is up, let this thing drive off. There it goes. Obviously, when the top is up, that's reflecting off the rear window and creating a nice concert sound effect inside. But when the top is down, it's just kind of a PA address system. You're sort of sharing your music with the people around you, so a bit funky. Anyway, let's get inside the trunk. Now the trunk area is quite good for a 4-seat convertible. You get to put a lot of stuff in there. A set of golf clubs, at least one. You got a little first aid kit here. I'm not gonna open it. I don't know what's in. Well, let's see what's in there. Nothing. Top pump access. Over here, another little place to stuff something. Maybe a toy poodle. And you've got a pretty decent amount of cargo with the top down, and an even better amount of cargo with the top up. You push this divider forward, and then you could really fit some junk in there. So again, part of what makes this car great is its utility as a 4-seat convertible with a little bit of cargo room. Love the little shark fin antenna. Look under the hood. Definitely need a quieter place to do this. I remember doing it at home, but of course that was all the lawn care. Oh good, I've got a truck right here dieseling beside me. Okay, so in this late model W212 is the current generation Mercedes-Benz engine. Now, even though this is badged as an E400, it actually moved from an 3.5 liter in the E350 to a 3 liter in this car. The reason they've badged it higher is it does have more horsepower by virtue of a couple of turbochargers, obviously also direct injection, and puts it up to 329 horse while still getting better gas mileage. So again, a real have your cake and eat it too kind of car. You get more juice, more torque, and better fuel mileage, and there's just nothing wrong with that. 16,000 miles on this thing, locally owned. It's mint under here. It's exactly what you'd expect, and that's made to do a 7-speed driver adaptive transmission with different shift modes. Lovely to drive, great fuel mileage, always knows what gear it wants to be in very confidently, and everything lovely. I'll show you a little neat stuff that like Mercedes has. Now, God forbid you ever have to jump start the car, but sometimes you do. But if you do, there's your little negative prong there. That little slider there gives you a place to clip onto close to the battery, and it just makes life easier. Those are the little touches they put in these cars that I like. Okay, I'm going to show you the air cap while we've got the top down. To do that, let me just get the ignition on. Do that without pressing the brake, it won't start. Flip open this guy here and press this little guy here. Okay, and there you see it. That's what's called the air cap. Now, when you're driving around, if you have it in manual mode and fully deployed, it looks a bit silly when you're cruising down the boulevard at 10 miles an hour. It kind of detracts from the lines of the car. That said, the minute you get going on, anything over 40 miles an hour, it really incredibly cuts down on wind noise and buffeting inside, particularly for any rear seat passengers, God help them, and becomes quite a useful function. Now in automatic mode, which it's just in by standard, it deploys when the car is at speed, of course when the top is down, and then as you come to a stop it kind of retracts itself so you get to maintain your dignity as you drive down the boulevard. A very nice feat of engineering there. Turn that off. What else can I show you outside? Nothing for the moment. Let's put the top up. Oh, while we got that there, that's kind of neat. The seatbelt extenders. You can see when you close the door, a little arm shoots out and presents the seatbelt to you in a way that makes it easy to grab. Okay, so car off again. Excuse me, we've got our 2 smart keys here. It does have keyless go, so if I want to lock it, I just put my thumb on that little indentation, folds the mirrors in. I want to open it, just put my finger on it and it opens up. But let's say we get out, it looks like rain, we want to put the top up. No sweat, just press and hold the lock button on the key. You can see the top cover very nicely comes up. Up comes this lovely folding, well-insulated soft top, almost an inch thick. Now I'm stopping it for a minute so you can see that. Look at the padding inside this thing and the engineering that goes into it, the different levels of weather strip, the way the thing is held together with a lattice work that keeps everything nice and tight. The amount of engineering in that top is epic. So it goes down at the front. Up comes the rear window. Down goes the top cover. All seals very nicely into place, and up come the windows. Now, you've got a very well insulated, lovely folding soft top. I hit the button accidentally, but anyway, lovely insulated folding soft top. It's so good that when it's up like this, it's almost like a coupe inside. So I tell you what, we're gonna, well, you know what, I'll go for a drive first. That way you can see it work in action as we're driving. Now, if I pull this little chrome guy there, the seat moves forward in a hurry, and you're able to put your rear seat passengers in. They've got vents facing rearward. They've got a little cup holder thing in the middle. They've got an armrest. They've got wood trim. All very comfy. And, you know, even the Canadians are going to be pretty chipper back there. You got a Harman Kardon sub in between the seats. Very, very nice, comfortable place to be. Put the seat back, and it moves nicely into place. Away from the noise. Foot on the brake, tap the keyless go, start, stop, and everything fires to life. There you can see the blind spot self-testing as well. Nice feature in these cars. Okay, inside. Beautiful wood and leather steering wheel, lovely to look at. You've got multifunction controls on it for the driver display in the center of the speedometer, the, what do you got, your phone, your radio volume and such, your voice command. You got automatic headlights over here. Oh, I promised to show you that. Let me hop out real quick. So look at the beauty of these LED adaptive headlights. I mean, that's just gorgeous going down the road. They'll see that from miles away. All right, back in. Extends our little seatbelt presenter. Makes it easy to get on. And we're good to go. So there you have a very simple and nicely laid out instrument cluster. You've got your fuel, you've got your temp, you've got your miles per hour, and you've got your tachometer. In the middle, you can go through the different features. You can get into your navigation at a glance. You can get into your audio, your Bluetooth, your different stuff that it has, your assists. You have ESP, collision prevention. That's a nice feature. It uses a forward sensing radar of sorts to figure out if the car's about to get into a real problem. And if it is, it'll tighten up the seat belts, it'll lock the doors, it'll make everything ready to keep you safer. Very, very clever. Attention assist, that's of course that little coffee cup that'll pop up and tell you that you look like crap, you need to stop and get some coffee. Your blind spot, your lane keep assist, adaptive, all very nice. So, you know, again, the car has a ton of safety features to help keep you in the road and keep you comfy. You got automatic headlights over here, your little stalks. This is your shifter mechanism, your wipers. Down here, your cruise. One thing I don't like is the steering wheel adjust. All of this is very close together. I go to move my steering wheel and you almost can't help but hit the cruise control. Wish they'd made that a little bit more clever. You get used to this shifter. It's a little bit strange at first, but foot on the brake, you push down for D, push up for R, you get your rear view camera, and push the little button on the end for park. A lot of people want to push the button and then move it up, move it down. I guess that's the intuitive thing to do, but that's not really going to help you at all. Okay, over here you've got Mercedes-Benz Command Unit, Cockpit Management and Data System. That gives you a ton of info. Nice modern infotainment in this car. Much better than in the earlier 212s. That gives you your navigation, which can be voice programmed, and it's a lovely screen. I want to say a 7-inch screen in this car. The radio, it has digital audio broadcast, digital FM, all very nice, all very modern, and I like the interface. I like the way these things kind of spin around. It's you know, it's glitzy without being in your face or ridiculous. It's elegant, like the whole entire car is. In your media, you could get into, you know, Bluetooth media or whatever else, all kinds of different media things. What do we have? Interface 2, discs, memory cards. I mean, if you can't entertain yourself in this car, you just can't be entertained. Alright, there's your Bluetooth. Lovely. Set your phone up, get into your vehicle. I like the way it has a little car sitting there and a picture of the clock, which again, analog clock is the official piece of equipment of a luxury car. But you can get your whole operator's manual, check your fuel mileage, set the time, so on and so forth. Nice to have the vehicle settings there. Put it back onto the nav. It just looks the prettiest. Down here, lovely little, nickel-plated vents with the, again, the analog clock. Lovely. You can turn your vents off nice and manually that way. You've got direct access for the command and radio. Gives you, the different things you can get to in a hurry. And I love having the keypad still. So if you want to dial your telephone that way, you can. This one has some good equipment. So you get your hot seats, nice. Cool seats, lovely. Mercedes-Benz air scarf. That's that little guy right there. You see those vents at the back of the headrests? You put that on, it's kind of a chilly day outside, and it's going to waft warm air on the back of your neck. So if you're a real diehard and you need to have the top down in 50-degree weather, then that is going to, help you out immeasurably. This great little button here, it won't do anything if I press it now because I got my seatbelt on, but if you've been sitting in the car idling, checking your texts or something, and the seatbelt presenter retracts back in, hit that again and it will present itself again. This is of course, the hazards. This is the eco setting. This car is one of those features, I haven't driven it yet, but I think they all have it, where it'll shut off at the traffic lights, which I've always found really irritating. Again, when you spend this many years in the car business and you come up through the bottom of it, you drive a lot of crappy cars, which I did in my life, and go into the auctions. They called them the pig fights, the ones we went to years ago. Buying some 40-year-old Volvo and trying to get it home, and the thing would stall at a red light. You'd go into an absolute panic. Is it going to restart? The battery, the fuel, God knows. So when a car quits at a red light, I get really startled. I just don't like it at all. So generally speaking, if I get in a car with that feature, I turn it off. Down here, you've got automatic climate control, very nice, proper hot side, cold side, everyone's going to be happy. You've got very simple cup holders for a Mercedes that aren't going to break. I like the titanium surrounds. They're just easy. They're nice. They don't have fancy, stupid breakable covers over them. Those are going to stay working and not cost you anything. You do have a bona fide ashtray. Lovely. So if you're a smoker, you're covered. Down here, you've got orthopedic seats. So you can really adjust it any way you like. And Mercedes are very good at that. You can be 7 feet tall or as short as our sales guy, Little Richard, and you're going to fit in this car. Here you've got the joystick for the command unit. You've got your economy, sport, and manual mode, part of that dynamic suspension setting. When I'm in economy, it's gonna, be pretty soft and frugal. When I go to sport, it'll stiffen the suspension up just a little. I mean, this is not meant to be a performance car, and you're not gonna get a real firm spring setting that you can run around a racetrack. It's more of a driver preference thing. Just tenses up the steering, the shifting a little bit, and gives it a little bit better response. Comfort, you're just going for full, or economy, you're going for full boulevard cruising. Again, here's a customizable button, the star. You can make that whatever you want. This will turn off the command screen if you're driving at night. You don't want to have it going. What is the C? I don't actually know what the C does. That's kind of sad. I should get that. Maybe that's comfort. I don't know. We'll have to figure out what the hell the C does. And of course the joystick you can move around to change your perspective on the map or whatever other function you need. Great little flip up cover here for your top controls. This will run all 4 windows. This will put that air cap up, and this will run the whole top. Press this guy on the side and you get barn door access to a nice big storage compartment there for your 9mm. In the glove box, you got a set of books, and not too comprehensive, readable, not like that Lexus we were in the other day where it had like 2 phone books. All these little places to put cards and pens and, all very nice stuff. Up top, you've got a self-dimming mirror, HomeLink garage door opener, all your light controls. And what can I say? It's just a really comfy, lovely place to be. I also like the way the steering wheel's flat on the bottom to get in and out easier. Nice feature with the titanium. It's all beautifully designed and elegant and expensive looking. Very befitting of a car with this price tag, and a car that has to live up to an incredible lineage of beautiful collectible cars. You know, this is a timeless machine that's going to age well, and it better be, because that's what Mercedes E Cabriolets are supposed to do. All right, let's put it in drive. Let's get it out of manual. That's a dumb thing to be in, and go for a drive. And while I'm running, again, the blind spot, while I'm running at, what are we at here, about 15 miles an hour, I'm going to see if I can run the top. So I pull that up, windows go down in a hurry. You can see it's coming up at the back there. And back goes the top, and that'll again work up to, I want to say 25 miles an hour, which is nice that you don't have to pull over in a hurry. You can just roll through the parking lot and put that down. I'm going to deploy the air scarf, or sorry, the air cap, see that coming up, and show you just how nice and quiet it is in this car as a convertible. Of course, trying to get any of these animals and savages to let us out in the morning. They'd rather be killed than let somebody get in front of them. Nice instant torque from that twin turbocharged 6. And looking in the camera, I can see it looks like the display is flickering a little bit. I don't know if that's showing up the way I think it is. If it is, it's just a trick of the LED refresh rate. It's perfect and stable. There's no flickering at all. Sometimes the camera just makes it look like that. Now, this car with the top down is really the whole purpose of this thing. I mean, it is a boulevard cruiser intended to let you take in the sights, sounds, and smells. It's best on a country road, but not too bad cruising down Hollywood Boulevard either. And, you know, putting yourself on sort of a platform of an elegant, well-to-do maturity. It's what this car sort of presents to the world. It handles, but it doesn't handle very sporty. I mean, it's, you know, a little bit more than, you know, a Lexus ES like I had the other day, but not really at all like a sports sedan or coupe. It's not meant for that. It won't like it. It'll do it, but it'll, you know, just put up with it. Now, it is quick. In fact, very quick for what it is. But it's a mature power that befits, you know, the stature of the car. And that's a lovely, lovely way to have it. You know, not too much, not too little, just exactly what it should have. When you drive it in a twisty road, you know, it suffers a little bit if you're going too heavy into the corners. It's not meant for it. It's just so much better as a grand touring, open-top cruiser. And just a lovely, effortless way to get around that looks good, feels good, is practical enough to be your only car, and will keep you very, very safe while living a very elegant-looking lifestyle. Now, if you have an interest, this is a 2016 Mercedes-Benz E400 Cabriolet. Beautiful Mars red outside, lovely cream beige inside. Got the current generation engine, that direct injection twin turbocharged 6, 329 horse. Yeah, you could be a bit of a traffic menace in it. And just a lovely car to drive. If you have an interest, give us a call, 239-298-8000, on the web at aenaples.com. Thank you so much for having a look. We really appreciate it, and we will see you with the next one. Take care.